Good morning, well, good afternoon. It is actually 12:45. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Girl Get Up podcast. And you guys too, where I come out here and oh, hold on, let me back it up. Let me back it up. Hello, everyone. I am the Aquarian Chancellor, and welcome to Girl Get Up podcast. And some of you guys too. Where it is my hope that the stories that we share about myself and the things that I experienced help you in your journey of discovering your infinite potential and your infinite possibilities. Now, this episode is going to be an anomaly because I'm going to put this on YouTube first, and then I'll post it in the podcast. So actually the listeners, not the viewers, the listeners will see this episode a little bit later. And the viewers will see this within the next day or two. Okay. Today is September 9th. I'm sorry. Oh no. 9/9. That might be significant. But today is the third. Where in the world did I get that from? Well, everything happens for a reason. They might be a significant thing for somebody out there. But welcome, welcome, welcome. I am your host. Um, I want to see how I'm going to put this together because, for anybody who does this podcast and being out on social media, sometimes they have a little, what is those, like a little thing where, you get your points out and, you know what I'm saying? It kind of makes it go along a little bit smoother. Well, I don't work like that. I'm kind of like more of a sporadic person because I never know what to come in and say, reason why I got the, it might be helpful. But nonetheless, I wanted to come out and share a story with you guys. Well, first, let me back it up. Let me start here. I made a post some weeks ago letting you guys know, the ones who do follow my channel, know that the 654 people who subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And the ones who will be coming. But I let you guys know that it's going to be some changes to the platform. And I did that for a very specific reason. All of this is going to be wrap up together. Just follow me. Okay. I always talk about taking inventory of where you are, what you're doing, and where you're going. And part of my story, which I have not really totally shared in its entirety. So you really get bits and pieces, and sometimes that doesn't make sense. And and this is part of growth too, right? When you go back and you look at yourself and you look at what you've done and you take an accounting of what makes sense. And so I realized that the bits and pieces that you get, it can confuse the public. It can give off a certain viewpoint of yourself that might not necessarily be who you are. We all have many different facets of ourselves. And sometimes, especially if people don't know you personally, you only get bits and pieces, and it can like, again, confuse people. It can give people an impression of who you are, and that's not all of who you are. That said, I started to view a lot of this things, and in all honesty, um, you can see a lot of the hurt or pain, or you know what I'm saying, and all of that leads to your purpose. Don't get me wrong, but if you don't know the entire story and you don't know why a person is the way that, or why they operate the way that they do, or feel the way that they feel. You just get the rah rah and you don't understand the story behind it. And not all the time the story needs to be shared. Or, okay, you allow for that healing to take place, then you circle back and you share the story. And so that you don't just, you're not just bombarded, or the viewers or the listening audience is not just bombarded by the hurt, but then you get to see the hurt, you get to see the process of the healing, and then you get to see the after effects. Okay. And so all of that it requires time. So what I did was I restructuring the platform. I'm going to release the interviews again, and then you get to see the podcast features. But some of the healing generations and some of the career videos, sidebar, the career videos are all in the program modules. So if you want access to that, please, you can purchase the class or you can sign up for the program. And I got some other stuff that's coming too as far as that, but I'm not going to touch on that here. But so that's where the career videos are going to go. But the healing generations and a lot of the one-offs, the what I learned about business and a lot of that stuff, I'm going to put back in the vault. And maybe I'll bring it back out later on from a different perspective, and we get to talk about certain things, and why, when I am comfortable enough to tell the story in its entirety and not from the victim point of view, or not from the hurt place. Okay. When you're able to take accountability, when you're able to see the truth, when you're able to mature, and all of that is what I call the healing journey. Because in all of that, in 2020, I started my business, and the business has been like one of my children, it's growing. And I do operate um, my business as part of my healing journey because it allows for me to get out, share my story, speak at public events, community events, reach out to people who are or who have been in my shoes. Right. And so in that, like I said, it's very important to be on the other side of that. Um, I was about to say something, but I'm not going to, I'm not going to say that because, it's a lot of forms out there. Okay. And I want, if I want to contribute to that, to the digital library of YouTube and all of these other, your Apple platforms and all these other platforms, I want it to be a place of healing, a place where you can say, "Oh, okay, I I see myself in that story. I want to follow it. I want to see the finish line of that." So all of that said, that's the purpose finding you is one of the videos in the library of the podcast, right? Um, Purpose finding you. Throughout the healing journey, you have a problem, okay? A problem that hits you so hard in the gut that you take it upon yourself to go find a solution for it. Okay, whatever that looks like, whatever that problem looks like for you. And that's the purpose. That's the purpose, finding you. So again, wrap that part up. What I've decided to do is I'm going to stick with the podcast, and then I'll re-release the interviews. Everything else I'll leave in the vote for now. Okay. That said, just wanted to come out and share a little story, which is the reason why I said I'm going to release this today, or tomorrow, whatever. And because I think it's a great Sunday story. So for the people, the listening audience who don't know, and for the ones that do, I went on my walk today because I get to, when you're walking, your brain, you're releasing those endorphins. You know what I'm saying? You really get a chance to observe the thoughts. Okay. And excuse me, my throat's itching. And I'm just in my head and I'm walking, you processing. Okay. And nice little walk. And I'm walking, and of course, I ain't got no lashes on, my hair up in a ponytail. I ain't trying to, what I'm saying, is it just me. Okay. So all of that bad face, everything, just what I'm saying. And so I'm walking, and this time I didn't take my usual path. This time I had it in my mind that I am going to walk somewhere different this time, and I did that. Right. There's two lakes, man-made lakes by my house, and so I decided to walk by the other lake this time. And so I take the walk, and I'm walking around, and I look at the ground. I don't really, look at people because, I don't want to interrupt, what I'm saying, what I'm thinking. And but this time I'm paying attention to the gentleman in front of me because he had not what he has on, but he has um a fishing rod in his hand. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, oh Lord, so be careful. Because when that thing end up in my on a whole lot of hair. I'm like, this is the beginning. Right. And so I'm walking, and I'm getting close. I can hear him on the phone. I didn't pick up the context of the situation of what he's saying, what's going on. You know what I'm saying? My thought is in my head, we're paying attention to that fishing rod. You know what I'm saying? The little hook and everything. So anyway, long story short, and I'm like, okay, Lord. As I'm walking by, this man don't decide to swing that thing back. It's the only thing that's on his mind. Right. But he's on the phone and he's having a whole different type of conversation. And so as I get closer, I hear him say, all right, man. And he hangs up the phone and he goes to, what I'm saying, pull the thing back. And I'm looking at him and we made contact, right? So he slows down, you know what I'm saying? And he just moves to the side instead of, you know what I'm saying? Anybody who's a fisher out there, you know what I'm talking about. Walk like the fish, you know what I'm talking about. You just, instead of, wheeling it back, and, anyway, make a long story short. And so we make contact, and I'm like, oh, he can see the look on my face. And so he like I said, to him, he's smiling, and I said, hold on. I said, wait a minute. I said, I'm not trying to get that thing in my hair. I'm trying to wash my hair now. And so he just found it to be the most hysterical, hilarious thing that he said. He said, you know what? He said, you made my day. Y'all, and I'm going on, and that was it. You know what I'm saying? We ain't stopped. We ain't had no conversation. It wasn't none of that. We shared a laugh because it was a genuine concern of mine. And it was their moment. We shared a laugh. And I don't know what the context of the conversation was. Um, but he said, you made my day. And I lie to you not. I'm still walking. In my mind, I'm like, phew. But he's still over there. He's laughing. And I share that story to say, sometimes we looking for this big and magnificent thing to happen, and you know what I'm saying, and we doing all of this grand service, sacrificing yourself. You know what I'm saying? You giving until you ain't got nothing left of yourself, and the whole purpose is maybe, purpose finding you. is to have a laugh with someone. You know, sharing a moment with a stranger, somebody holding the door open. And I said this before, being in the grocery store line, and you know what I'm saying, pay it forward, something so small, but it means so much. And that was it. I laughed, you know what I'm saying? It took me out my head a little bit, which is always a good thing because you know we can get in a lot of trouble up there. Um, but before I end that, two things. This is my Sunday. You guys know I have my little inspirational deck. And I also went to, I was, you know, the five and below where I am is closing down and they're moving. Um, and I was looking for incense but to, and I looked in there and I saw these. So if you're at five and below, go look at some of their metaphysical side. It's not very big, but they do have some nice little stuff in there. And these are scripture cards. Okay, 54 different inspirational and uplifting Bible verses. Okay, and so I picked that up. All right, and so before I leave you guys, I want to leave you with two messages, and I already shuffled them and all of that other cute little stuff that I decided to not burden you guys with because of the mic. But two messages, I just wanted to I just picked one up off the top. This is my deck that I created, the Daily Dose of Inspiration deck, and this is based off when I first started my business and trying to find purpose. I didn't know what to do because of the whole COVID thing, and the world was pretty much on hold in a stagnant period. And so I took the messages later on as I began to grow in my business. I took those messages, some of them anyway, and I created an inspirational deck. That in itself is a part of my story. I actually recorded a whole lot of videos, but I don't know if I'm going to. I'm gonna have to find a different way to share them. That said, this card was the first one on the top, and it says, "An abundant mindset means a change in perspective. Know that you have more than enough." Okay, and this one, the scripture card is, and I say unto you, ask and it shall be given to you. Seek and ye shall find. Knock and it shall be opened unto you. Luke 11:9. Okay. So part of being in my head, y'all, as I'm walking, is trying to figure out, you know, a lot of little things that business owners are, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna do this? How am I gonna do that? And you know, these are, I'll just say this because I don't want to say too much, you know how I go. Um, these two are very relevant to me. Um, Not focusing on what I lost. Remember, y'all, I started out talking about that, about a lot of the videos and stuff like that. You know, knowing that it's your mind that creates your reality, and you can't do that focusing on what you lost, focusing on the pain, focusing on the setbacks. Okay, take the lesson from it, you grow, and you move forward. This time with a different perspective. So, with that, I am going to be out of here. I know I didn't take up too much of your time. Um, but yeah, this is kind of like an offshoot of the Girl Get Up podcast and some of the things I want to talk about. Um, and so I hope you guys take it upon yourself to just continue to share the journey with me. With that, I am out of here. Please take care. Okay. And have a wonderful, wonderful day.